What's up guys, welcome back to the channel, and this is my review of the Mizuno Wave Sky 8. Now over the years I've reviewed a couple iterations of Mizuno's Wave Sky, and I've got to say I'm excited to tell you about this one. Let's get into it. Okay, let's get started with those disclosures. This video is in cooperation with my friends over at Roadrunner Sports. Now the Mizuno Wave Sky 8 was sent to me for the purpose of review, however no one at Roadrunner Sports has told me what to say, they don't have any editorial privileges, and all the thoughts and opinions are my own. With that said, you can pick up a pair of the Mizuno Wave Sky 8 from Roadrunner Sports for $170, and of course I'll place a link in the show notes below in case you want to pick up a pair for yourself. So the Mizuno Wave Sky 8 is a premium daily trainer, right? You know what that means? It means it's a daily trainer, but it's a little more expensive than other daily trainers. Hopefully because they're using more premium materials, maybe including a little more stack height. And that's exactly what we're getting with this iteration of the Wave Sky 8. Because now the Wave Sky 8 has 41mm in the heel, 33 in the forefoot for an 8mm drop. Now Mizuno claims that in a US men's size 9, the Wave Sky 8 will tip the scale at 9.9 ounces or 280 grams. However, in my size, a US men's size 13, it tips the scale at 12.3 ounces or 348 grams. Now, of course, this whole daily trainer category has a lot of competition. I think some other shoes that may compare to the Wave Sky 8 are the On Cloud Monster 2. Now, the On Cloud Monster 2 is a little more expensive, it costs $180, but it's also a little lighter. In my size, it weighs in at 339 grams. So that's 11 grams heavier than the Wave Sky 8, which isn't really noticeable. Next up, we have the Nike Vomero 17. Now, the Nike Vomero 17 is $10 less expensive than the Mizuno Wave Sky 8. It's coming in at $160, and it's a little heavier. In my size, it weighs in at 352 grams, so just 4 grams heavier than the Wave Sky 8. And finally, we have the Saucony Triumph 22. Now again, the Triumph 22 is a little less expensive, it's $160, but again, it's a little heavier. In my size, it tips the scale at 350 grams, so 2 grams heavier than the Wave Sky 8. So now that we know the competition, let's start at the top and work our way down like we always do. I'm gonna hold this up and show you the heel collar. You can see we've got a good amount of padding around the heel collar. What I do like to see is that they haven't gone over the top with padding. A lot of times these premium daily trainers tend to overdo it with the stuffing. I think Mizuno has done pretty well here. They're giving you just the right amount of stuffing that you need without overdoing it and burdening the shoe with unnecessary weight. The heel counter is super rigid, exactly as we would expect. I did get a good heel lockdown in the Wave Sky 8, and you can see right here on the back we've got a nice heel flare. It all works together for a nice step-in feel and just feels super plush and comfortable. Now you know this is a premium daily trainer. It is a neutral daily trainer, so if you have an extreme need for some stability elements, perhaps it may not be for you, but the shoe does fit true to size. And I think there is quite a bit of volume in the upper, and although I would say that I have fairly narrow feet, I think if you had wider feet than me, I think it would still work quite well. I did get a good lockdown, but it seems like that if I had an extra pair of socks or 2 on, the Wave Sky 8 would still fit me beautifully. The tongue is just as we would expect with a daily trainer. It's a little plush. Now look, I gotta say, again, a lot of times companies kind of overdo it with the stuffing. Now when I first looked at the tongue on the Wave Sky 8, I thought it was, medium in thickness. But as I keep running in other shoes, I'm realizing that the thickness of the tongue isn't that important, at least for me. And I would generally like to see a much thinner tongue because it doesn't take much padding on the tongue to stop the lace bite. So even though this isn't the thickest tongue that I've seen on a daily trainer, I think Mizuno really could just shape it down just a little bit, make it a little thinner, make it a little more streamlined, both for looks and for saving weight. But other than that, the tongue is fully gusseted. It's gusseted on both sides. There is no lace loop, but those full gussets really keep the tongue in place. But other than that, I think the tongue being so thick just annoys me a little more than normal people. And I say normal people, like people that live outside Florida. But now I think about it, no one's ever accused people of living in Florida as being normal. But either way, what I'm saying is it's hot here, so I want as least material as possible. Anyway, that was a real ramble, sorry. The overlays are pretty minimal. We got the Mizuno Running Bird both on the lateral and the medial side. We have an underlay coming right around the base of the upper, like right above the midsole. That's just keeping the upper off your foot to give that extra room. And the upper is a smooth stretch woven upper. And this is one of my favorite parts of the shoe. I have my favorite part of the shoe, but I'll let you know when we get there. Now this smooth stretch woven upper is really good because even though this is a premium daily trainer, the upper is still fairly light and breathable. And if I hold this up, let's see if the camera will grab it, maybe not, but we have these designs in the upper, and then the in-between part, like this mesh, is really thin and really breathable. In fact, when I look inside, I can see a lot of light coming through, which is telling me how breathable it is. And I just love that. It's totally unexpected for a premium daily trainer to be so breathable. Now we do have a little overlay right here on the back, just covering the seam. We've got individual overlays coming along each eyelet, and we do have an extra eyelet hole right here in the back in case you need to do the lace lock method. The Wave Sky 8 does have an insole that is fully removable, just in case you wanted to take that out and replace it with something else. But now we're coming down to the midsole, and this is my favorite part of the shoe because you've probably seen a couple of my videos. We started with the Mizuno Neo Vista, then the Wave Rider 28, and the things that the Wave Sky 8, the Wave Rider 28, and the Neo Vista all have in common is that they use Mizuno's new NRZ Next foam. That's NXT. Now, the Neo Vista uses 100% Next, the Wave Rider 28 has a little bit of Next in the heel, and now the Wave Sky 8 has a dual density midsole setup. So we have an entire top layer of Energy Next. And I think Energy Next is really taking Mizuno places. And because they've added this Energy Next, like a big thick slab of it right underneath your foot, it turns out that this has been my favorite Wave Sky that I've ever run in. Same thing with the Wave Rider 28. I credit that I like that shoe because of the Energy Next in the heel. Oh, also, you see this wave pattern in the midsole? Isn't that gorgeous? I had a lot of people comment on that when I was running in it. Anyway, apparently this wave design of the midsole is going to aid in transitions and just generally help you out. Anyway, I'm getting away from it. We do have that top layer of Energy Next, and then on the bottom we've got Mizuno's Energy Foam. Now the Energy Foam is what we've seen in a lot of past Mizuno shoes, and that's just a little more dense, it's a little firmer, and it's going to give structure and support to the midsole. Now if you've run in a lot of Mizuno shoes, you know that they often include a wave plate. The Wave Sky 8 does not have a wave plate, and the reason they don't have to put a wave plate in to add support and structure is because of this Energy Foam on the bottom. It just gives a little more structure and resiliency to the Energy Next, which is sitting right above it. And the combination is actually pretty good. It's fun and soft to put your foot into, it feels soft underfoot, but because we've got this slightly firmer Energy Foam on the bottom, it's going to be a little more resilient, it's going to give you that impression of road feel, and if you need to, we'll make it feel like you can pick up the pace a little more. So let's come down to the outsole. It looks like we've got a lot of X10 outsole rubber coverage. Yeah, we've got it in all the right places. I mean, all the right places being all over the place. It looks like this little hole in the bottom is a little window through to the Energy Next foam, and then I'm not sure how well you can see it, but I am seeing quite a bit of wear on this exposed midsole, which is really no big deal. That's going to wear down just as far as the rubber will let it. And then we've got these flex grooves cut into the outsole rubber, which is going to make it, it's a fairly flexible shoe. But something I was concerned about when I actually sat down to make this video, and you may be surprised, but I don't often look at the bottom of my shoes until it comes time to review them. But I was actually quite surprised with how much wear I'm seeing on the outsole rubber of these Wave Sky 8s. Like, I'm a heel striker and I'm seeing quite a bit of wear right up here on my forefoot, and then when I come down here to my lateral heel, like I've already worn away all the grip, and I've probably only got 40 miles in these shoes. But it could be the case that this is just cosmetic. I mean, it's not cosmetic, clearly it's happening, but Mizuno has added a lot of outsole rubber here. So even though I am seeing the wear already, I'm thinking this shoe is going to last an average amount of miles. And by average, I mean, I don't think you'd have any trouble getting at least 400 miles in the Wave Sky 8. And of course, the best thing about a daily trainer or premium daily trainer is that they set themselves up beautifully for a second life. So if you wanted to run in this shoe for its running life, say from 0 to 400, and then you wanted to transition into a retirement life of going to the shops or even doing the gardening, the shoe is beautifully set up for that double duty. Okay, but this is a running review, so how is the shoe on the run? And I've got to say that when I start reviewing a daily trainer, it's not always the most exciting thing, especially when I review a lot of lighter and faster shoes. But saying that, for a daily trainer, the Wave Sky 8 was actually quite surprising, and I did find myself enjoying every run I put in it. Now, this is going to be that daily trainer that you do your recovery miles, your easy runs. But saying that, I did take out the Wave Sky 8 for a long run, and in that long run, I did a couple of miles at a sub-7 pace, and I mean just a slightly sub-7 pace, so probably around half marathon effort for me. And I found that the Wave Sky 8 performed really well when I had to pick up the pace. Of course, when I was doing those recovery miles and easy runs, of course the Wave Sky 8 are going to feel good. That Energy Next foam is just super soft and really pampers your body. But the most surprising thing was that it actually felt pretty good when I picked up the pace. Now look, this isn't a race day shoe. I'd never tell you to go and choose the Wave Sky 8 for a race, but if you needed to do some strides at the end of your workout, this would be a pretty good option. So overall, I think Mizuno has done some great things with the new Wave Sky 8. Primarily, it's this Energy Next foam. That is the main reason I like it. A little disappointed when I look at the wear on the outsole, but again, they have included a boatload of rubber here on the outsole. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever run in a Mizuno Wave Sky? If you have, which number have you run in? And are you thinking of picking up a pair of the Wave Sky 8? Drop a comment and let me know. And with that, it's Matt B. This has been my review of the Mizuno Wave Sky 8. Be kind, be happy, run well. See you in a couple of days.